welcome to another farming video. This time, we will be talking how to have tons of platinum without spending real money. Yes, when Warframe says it's free to play, it meant it since almost everything in the game, except for things like Prime accessories and 10OG and stuff, wherein the developer gets their revenue, but platinum can be obtained free in the game. It can't be farmed, but you can farm Prime parts to sell for platinum to other players. Why Prime parts, squad leader? Doesn't other stuff works also, like arcanes? Yes, they do work and you can sell them for platinum also, but Prime parts is the most reliable way of getting platinum. Even if it's not the rarest Prime parts, other players will still buy it since that might be the missing piece to complete their Prime Warframe or weapons. Also, common Prime parts can be sold for 1 to 5 platinum, and in bulk, since other players may need it to turn them into ducats so they can have those things from the Void Trader. With all the farming method, the Prime part farming is the most reliable, accessible, and easy to do method among all things if you want to get lots of platinum fast in the game. So where do you farm Prime parts? They are from relics, obtainable in missions like the capture mission in the Void, both Yuko and Hepit, and also from disruption missions in the Earth's moon called Apollo. If you are a new player and want to farm relics as soon as you finish the start chart, then you can do it now by simply checking out the video I have included in the video description below. Those videos I have in the video description are still working as of today, and they tell you where to farm the relics specifically at the fastest time possible. Whether you need a Lith, Meso, Neo or Axxi relic, those videos at the pinned comment will inform you where to get them as easy and as fast as possible. So what's the purpose of this video then? This video is more towards those players who have climbed into mid-game or late game in Warframe. What you will see here is the most rewarding Prime relic farming of all time. I say this because not only that you can farm relics, but also other stuff which you need. Before we continue, I would just like to address a common misconception that is being thrown in the internet about Warframe. This was true in the past though, but I think right now, the game has a good progression. With the inclusion of Steel Path levels, plus other new missions in the game like Void Storm and Nama bounties, mid to late game players has now access to easy farming methods. It's like when you are a newbie, you get stuff from specific missions, but once you climb up to mid to late game, you will have access to missions which you can farm not just 1 or 2, but multiple things that you need for gaming preference. In my case, I'm addicted to Warframe since I like to experiment stuff, and do not just combos, but also other builds that aim to get things the fastest way possible, and having access to missions that allows me to farm multiple things that I need makes farming worthwhile in the game. It's like when I'm asked, what's my endgame in Warframe, I will say that it's still farming stuff, but with ease, and faster than the usual farming method. I know it's kind of funny, but that's how I operate in this game. I always burn my resources in the Helminth system, and for that I need to have a setup that will allow you to farm both things in the fastest way possible. And this is one of those videos. Not only that you can get platinum with this through relics, but also, you can get Helminth resources, steel essence, and other stuff that you might need. There are 2 methods of missions, but somehow, you can make them as one through farming relic packs. Yes, you have heard it right, we are farming relic packs here. And the 2 missions which have this thing is both Steel Path and Syndicate missions. However, we will not do 2 missions here, but only the Steel Path mission to farm both Syndicate standing and Steel Essence. A little trivia before we proceed. Is it possible to max out all 6 Syndicates in the game? Yes, it's possible, and 4 years ago, there was a post on Reddit that actually made the mainstream in terms of perfectly balancing the Syndicates, achieving all 6 Syndicates at max rank. It may take a lot of micromanagement and farming standings of course, but if you want to try it, then I have also linked the Reddit post at the video description. But in my case, I'm too lazy to do it. Having all Syndicate max could be worth it, but always remember that getting points from a specific Syndicate means deducting points to another, so I just decided to go with 2, which are Red Veil and Steel Meridian. It's up to you if you want to have more max out Syndicate standings. I just don't feel that it's worth my time right now, just a personal preference though. So anyway, the first thing you need to do is climb up the ranks of your preferred syndicate, then you will need to buy a sigil. In my opinion, you don't need those sigils that are priced at 30k standings. The very basic ones will do, since you will be doing this trick every time. and in a couple of minutes, you will max out the daily standing cap in no time. By the way, another benefit of doing this method is when there's a new prime access. I don't know if you noticed this, but it seems that the relic packs does allow you to gain access to new relics more frequently than farming it in missions. In my case, I usually open relic packs and go with the team farming the same new prime parts to get it. It's really easy to do, and you get quick access to the new prime parts without even farming them at day 1. If you save up a lot of standings and steal essence, of course. The relic packs does guarantee one rare relic, and it might be the case for new prime parts, but others say that it just Neo and Axxi. These are the ones considered rare in the relic packs, but based in my experience, it seems like it's easier to get new prime relics in the relic packs. You can try it if you want on the upcoming prime access this year. So anyway, after getting a sigil, all you need to do is equip it in your Warframe, preferably a farming Warframe like Korra. Like I always say, Korra is just a personal choice and you can go with Necros or any other farming Warframe. I just like Korra because of how easy I can farm resources with her. Not just that, but Korra's ensnare can stunlock acolytes and it's pretty easy to kill them with a well-modded whip claw build. Long story short, I choose Korra since she is very effective for me in terms of steel path farming. The build I have for Korra is the same dispensary Korra build, with red crit whip claw. Now, red crit is not necessary and you can remove both gladiator finesse and gladiator resolve in the build, but since I don't have other mods needed, I decided to go with it anyway. You see, equilibrium plus dispensary is a massive boost for Korra's energy maintenance and Zur revivability. With these two in your Warframe, you will have no problem with energy and you can cast Korra's abilities every time you want. It also helps in survivability as you pick up health, and then energy gets also converted to health. Just a pro tip, always have synth fiber in your companion so you can pick up health orbs even if you are at max health. It's preferably for Venari, so you will have the effect for the rest of the mission. In terms of companion, I would suggest the Smita Kavat with its charm mod for the extra steel essence gain and resource gain. Now, you proc the resource buff more often if you don't have any guns equipped so that the chance to proc reload buff will be removed from the rotation. The lesser the buff that charm can proc, the more chances you can get to proc the resource buff, which double the amount you gain. In normal instances, you will gain 2 steel essence. With a resource booster, you will get 4 and then 8 if the Smeet resource buff procs. The only downside of this build is I can't make use of the primary and secondary dexterity to maintain my combo count to maximum. Naraman is not enough to maintain your combo count at max, so if you prefer the max combo count, then you might as well remove something on this stat stick or sword build. Just a little hint for new players. The mods you equipped in your melee affects the damage of your whip claw, so if you have a stat stick like the jaw sword, and can equip a riven with crit and damage stats, along with the blade of truth augment, then the better the damage of your whip claw. In my case, it's okay to remove gladiator might and replace it with gladiator rush, and I still can have red crit because of this riven, but for those riven-less folks, you can still have it red crit at max combo count by adding both gladiator rush and gladiator might in your build. With this setup, you can farm steel path survivals with Korra, and get those steel essence, plus resources for the Helminth, weapon arcanes, and then syndicate standings at the same time. Just focusing on farming relic packs will allow you to gain more from this farming method. It's as simple as that, and you can start doing this method as soon as you have the necessary parts. And if Korra Prime is up next, then it would be awesome, as all you need to do is farm her prime parts and not waste time on the Sanctuary Onslaught farming for her parts. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.